Okay, I think that it is really important to be aware of, first of all, that we all have to assume different roles throughout the project life cycle. And we also have to adjust our roles to the students' needs, to what they ask us, how they want us to react, how much information they need, how much instructions they might need at this time of the project. So I think the main takeout of this is to being aware that there are different roles a teacher has to assume or should assume, and we should adjust these to the students' needs. Okay. So let me just continue with the next slide, because now we will come to our last topic, the technologies and the tools that we use for remote project-based learning. Actually, we all know that the collaborative work is the basis for the project-based learning methodology, because of what we and the students make use of a number of tools, and these tools support and facilitate the collaborative work between teachers and students, but also within the teams itself. And these collaborative tools can be classified differently according to their usefulness and also their purpose. So from, for example, more integrated solutions such as packages and software for education, to tools that facilitate task and time management. We have spoken about Trello, we have spoken about Asana, and there are also other tools like Miro, Myrtle, that enhance creative and interaction, creative ideas, and also the interactive collaboration. So what I would like you to do now, I want us to share our experiences with these supporting tools. We have already mentioned some of them. The tools that you have used already in remote teaching, especially in remote teaching of project-based learning, but also in general. I think these tools are very often very transversal and can be used in any subject. And so basically, I would like to discuss the following questions. In which areas do you use the supporting technologies? What technology and tools have you used already in your remote PBL teaching? And of course, your experiences. Which technologies have you found useful and which ones have you found rather difficult? And I am sure that everybody of us has plenty of experiences they can share in these collaborative tools and these online platforms and the experiences we have just made in the recent months. So, Zaza, may I ask you, because I got the impression before that you, being in journalism as well, already used a lot of these tools before, but of course now you do use them as well, and maybe even more and more intensely than before.
I think if you mention the creation of the blog for covering of conflicts, we used Google Blogspot, and we are discussing about it in the group. And if some member of the group prefer, for example, WordPress and like these other platforms, we are not against, and we are creating it on different platforms because we are trying to share with the students different experiences. knowledge of using different platforms. But for the creation and for the teaching by the Blogspot, we use recording of videos too, and uploading on YouTube and sharing by YouTube links on the Blogspot. And we are trying to combine different platforms. And it is very useful for students to be fluent like this in covering using by different instruments.
Okay. So have you, or do you integrate videos that you have recorded before and then implement them in your teaching?
Yeah. Students are recording themselves videos, and this is for them motivation to create their own video for covering some problem. Because downloading or uploading like copy paste for them is not motivation, and I am trying to encourage. I try to encourage them when I assess the original videos with high scores.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any other experiences you have made with maybe more basic tools? How, for example, did you teach online? What have you used?
Now, but somebody raised hand, as I see.
Yes, I think it's not to me. Please, everybody, you can also use the chat if you want, but you can also speak up. That's fine.
May I say about few words about my experience? Last year, we worked with Zoom and with Moodle platforms, and I should say that, in my opinion, online teaching and learning is more adapted for individual tasks than for the group work with teams of students, because when I upload, give some material, some presentations and videos, and want them to answer my questions, they can do it themselves on its own, on their own time, as they want, they prefer to. But when I try to gather them on the lecture, for example, even if I communicate with them by Moodle or by Zoom in video format, yes, I can't understand whether they are listening to me very carefully. And there is a problem of feedback, of course, and the students also complained that they lack interaction between each other in the distance format, yes, and non-verbal communication as well is a problem in this process. So as for me, the written tasks were more useful, and I tried them more often. But a project work or a group work in teams sometimes was more complicated.
Thank you very much for sharing this experience. I think you're right. I think it's difficult for the students not to being able to gather together to work on the tasks, but instead being at home and having to manage the task, divide responsibilities, wait for someone to deliver it, and then take the results and work on that. I think you are right. However, I have made the experiences that there are quite some very useful tools that can be used in order to make this collaboration happen. But as you have also just said, for example, implementing videos, it also gives a lot of advantages because the students can learn on their own pace. They can do it whenever they feel like now is the time to do it. And this gives them the freedom to choose the right time for their learning. And I think this is a clear advantage of these online settings. Thank you very much. Who else wants to share the experience and maybe the collaboration tools and other technologies you have used? The 40 seconds. Please, Eka.
No. I just wanted to say that I see some raised hands in the participants room, and obviously these people want to make some comments and to draw attention to that.
I did. I had the feeling that the hands were not taken down. However, I'm really sorry if I missed that out. I think Irina Kolyukova, you have your hand raised. Okay. What about Nata Breath? Please just speak up. It's fine.
One moment. I have some experience with connect with students by platform Zoom, Google Class. We work all our teachers in university last year from March till June by Google Class. More important was to have practical parts by Google Class. Every students have their own account in Google Class, and our university do it, open this account for students, not by themselves. And that's why university have possibility to control work of teachers and work of students. Yes. And what we do, we have lectures by Zoom or Google Meet. We prefer Zoom. It's more comfortable,
we do too,
I think.
actually.
Yes, and always maybe we have exams by Google Class and Zoom together, because examinations list was sent by teachers to students by Google Class. In one moment, open Google Class and they can look what they must to decide, which exercise and topics. And all session must record by movie, by camera. Everybody, every students must have camera, but not for very important. It's by computer or telephone, but you must to look face of students. It was fixed by our control function, I think.
Okay.
But I prefer offline in a classroom, not online. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
May I ask a question?
Sure, of course.
Natalia, and how did the students choose their tickets or their questions to answer for them? Or is it was a duty of lecture?
We have a big list how to make examination list in Google Class. When you can send, it's mechanism choose, not teachers and not students.
But randomly, yes?
Yes. You start to work with students and everybody choose its mechanism as this platform choose. Not everybody, but your examination list must be finished. All questions, all exercise must be full on this list. Yes. Я потом могу рассказать, эту платформу там сказали, как билеты вот туда набираются, они там остаются в этой платформе. Вот.
Thank you.
Инструкция.
Can I?
Of course, please go ahead.
I want to say about Grodno State University. In Grodno State University, we have that educational portal. We use Moodle, and we have such a special platform educational portal, and everything only without video lectures we can put for our students to this educational portal. For students, standard faculty is not pre-university, for students, not for pupils. So they have the connection for all disciplines from their course, and on the special page of this discipline, TT can add tests, can add different variants of tests, different variants of chat, and so on, and lectures in like presentation or PDF format, and discussion we can use there, and students see all lectures for all course, all practical tasks, and it is necessary for us, for teachers, to put all these materials to this educational portal. And the second variant of our that online work, it is we have the educational, our school, our filial on in Sri Lanka, and students prepared for education in our university on Sri Lanka. And on previous years, we twice a year we visit Sri Lanka, and we have the exams. Students have the exams, and we put the marks on Sri Lanka. And this year, when it is impossible to visit the Sri Lanka, we have the special platform year test. Our technical department made this platform, and we put there the tests. Tests of different kinds. For example, they need to take the correct answer in math, then to solve some problems and to add the file or to add the picture of solution. And during this exam, it is a camera on in the class where the students sit on Sri Lanka. We see using Zoom the exam, and then we see what they solve in the online format. So they solve, and I see that all this time, 5 minutes later, they solved the first problem, the second, and so on. And then we put the marks for these solutions, and the students see that everything is good or it is not good. So that's two different variants of online communication with our students we have in Grodno University.
Very nice. Thank you very much for sharing this. It's especially nice because we are often so limited to our region and the regional solutions. So speaking to you now, I haven't heard about this tool before, so it's something new for me as well. And I wanted to ask you, can you please type this in the chat? Would that be possible?
Yes, it is. I can write in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much, because I haven't heard about that.
I understand that today I have this special link guest, but today I can write. Yesterday I couldn't write, but today I have the other connection from PRINTeL. They wrote for me that I need to use only, not to go to this link when they write, they use Microsoft Teams. If you have this program on your laptop, and only I need the first to start Microsoft Teams from my laptop, and then only go to the link in that variant. The first to start the program and then to go to this link. That's why today I can write.
Okay, thank you very much. And Shalobita, thank you very much for your comment in the chat.
Elsa, I would like to add about this program called proctoring, which main task is to follow the students' answers while exams, for example. It's a special program that they can download to their laptops, and it provides the teachers with the videos from their cameras on laptops, and the videos of their screen, which provide us with a way to follow the cheating while exams, to control this process. So you can rewatch these videos after the exam, and if they will pass this video, then their exam will be counted.
Okay.
Sorry, could you repeat the name of the platform, please?
It's called proctoring.
Proctor.
You could also include this in the chat if you want. This was also new to me. Okay. Who else has raised their hand? It's Kuda Verdian. I think it was before already.
Yes.
Do you hear? Okay.
My name is Christina, and I wanted to add to the previous point, engaged and coach, but I can share our experience connecting with the pandemic period in our university. Immediately during the first week of pandemic in Yerevan, in our university, we prepared audio and video resources and made them available to students, used for platform that was designed for students only from our university, private educational platform like Moodle. But our university use Zoom as a virtual learning environment to conduct lecture and laboratory work. But from the beginning of this academic year, our department, for example, began to use MS Teams as it is a convenient environment, and it is free and convenient because additional platforms don't need to be used, especially if teachers and students are registered with a work account, not as a guest who has a restricted possibility to use. But the university used both Zoom and MS Teams. Only our department began to use MS Teams. It is very convenient because all in one we can use assignments part and grades and for virtual learning environment. No need additional tools for using. And I want to add with the previous point that, for example, if we use a platform like Trello, Asana, I think they are both similar and not, it is easy to use them. And I think it is very important when students observe the progress of what they are doing in the group, in the framework of project. And they are in constant interaction with each other, and especially they receive a quick feedback from the teacher. And by using this platform, like Asana or Trello, it is possible to build a good environment for interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. I totally agree. Because we have only 2 minutes to go, I would like to ask Puziankova to speak up, please.
Okay, I can share the experience from the Belarusian State University. At the university, LMS Moodle is used. Frankly speaking, we started to use this platform before COVID period in order to support educational process. And we started creating online courses, but of course it's really time-consuming and long process, and it needs constant upgrading. And we were ready, so-called, for the pandemic situation, because we knew how it works and our students were ready to use it. They knew how to learn by means of this platform. And of course, speaking about different technologies and instruments, there is a great variety of them. And of course, we use them depending on the purposes, depending on the material and the needs of a definite group, in order to support and motivate the process, educational process, not to use technologies for the sake of technologies, but only to support and to stimulate further educational process. And we even had experience with online exams this winter by means of Moodle. We got from the university definite instructions what to do, how to work with exam tickets, how to organize the process. And I should say we didn't have any problems at all, because all the students were informed and they knew how to behave and they knew what to do. Yeah, thank you.
That's a very valuable point you mentioned. Thank you very much. Because it's 1 o'clock sharp, I would like to wrap up the day. Those ones who still want to share their experience, I will stay in a bit longer. So if you want to stay, I would be glad and happy to discuss with you a bit further. But of course, for those ones who have to leave, I do not want to take more of your time. So I want to thank you very much for this very, very valuable workshop. I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot about the technologies that you use. I learned about, it's funny, but I learned that we all have the common tasks, no matter what discipline you're from, no matter what background you have. But once we come to the point that we design and implement a project, it's the same teaching practices actually we have to follow, maybe in a different way, that's for sure. But we all follow the same steps, we all do the same steps. And this is very interesting to hear and to get to know your experiences with that. There, I have created just a very last slide. It gives you an overview on the technology and the tools that I am aware of. So I must admit it's not comprehensive, because as I mentioned before, there are regional differences in what tools are implemented, what tools are preferred. So because I couldn't get the screen sharing because someone else is still sharing the screen, and unfortunately I could not get this back. Maybe someone just got a message now if he or she allows me to take over control of the screen.
Thank you so much for so interesting training and fruitful day, and so useful for us. And I have a question. Can you send your presentation, PPT presentation to us again?
Exactly. This is actually what I just meant, because I cannot show it. I'm sorry for that. But of course, I will give the slides either to Ingrid, and she will share it with you. I think she has done this yesterday with Doris' content as well, or I will do it, but you will have it in the afternoon for sure. So thank you, everybody, really much. It was a pleasure.
Anna is sharing the screen. That's why you can't share.
Again, please.
Chemistry, bana, ancak bana. Chemistry,
That's why you can share, because she has
exactly on the
Share Anjali, share.
it's the rectangle with the X on it.
Ներողություն իմ հետ եք։
Այո, այո։
Բայց իմ մոտ ոչ մի բան միացված չի։
Վերևը X կա մի հատ են քառակուսի են վիճի որ
Չեմ տեսել կներեք։
Okay. Don't worry. Thank you very much. So I would just give you a very quick glimpse on what you can expect from this one missing slide, which is this one. So you can go through it, you can read it. As I said, it's the technologies and tools I am aware of at the moment. And if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, if you have any comments, please get back to me. I would be happy to stay in contact with you. And I thank you all very much for your kind attention and great participation in this workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. All the best for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.